You want to know the real danger in it? Would be there's predators in the woods. Like, you can go off looking and find a bear, but occasionally you'll go thinking it's an animal, and then it'll be something you can't explain.
From the dawn of the spoken word, storytelling has been the backbone of human culture, warning of looming dangers and evoking our most personal fears. What you're about to hear are the real-life experiences of everyday people, brave enough to share their terrifying tales. Tales where the horror hits close to home. I'm your host, Danny. Welcome to the Hometown Horrors Podcast. Listen if you dare. Here we are, Hometown Horrors Podcast. We are back at it, baby. I'm joined today by an old friend. My boy Dustin. We used to work at a grocery store together some years back. Recently reconnected on social media, and proud to say I'm in his nice, spacious backyard looking at a crackling fire. So if you hear a little bit of noise in the background, it'll be the natural splendor.
If you listen real close, you can hear the rustling of a rustic tarp.
Blowing majestically in the slight breeze.
Is this the spooky ambiance you were looking for?
I mean, actually isn't exactly spooky. It's refreshing. It might get spookier later.
It gets dark as shit out here, buddy.
I don't know if it's just that it's still slightly early, but I'm more soothed by this than I am on edge. And that's the weird duality of living out in the country.
There's always buckshot.
There is always buckshot.
That works. That solves all paranormal problems. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's bad advice. Do not try that at home. I keep forgetting that there's other people that are listening to me. Yeah, man. So, there's been several instances of weird stuff happening. Like, I'm kind of an amateur ghost hunter. I'm big into, like, historical stuff. You look at an old building, you see the scars all over it, and it tells a story.
So where was the house that you were living?
Well, it's in Front Royal now. Back then, it would have been, like, Buckton. It's been several things over the years. Originally, it would have been a train depot.
Yeah.
And now it's a residence. It's 3 apartments. There's a unit downstairs, a small unit upstairs, and then the bigger unit where we stayed. There's actually a famous portrait of it from the Civil War. Everybody in the world has seen it. It looks like a train depot in the background. Well, those top windows in the photo were my bedroom and the roommate's bedroom. When I moved in there, my wife told me that, they had a friendly ghost, but she didn't really know any of the history or anything. I started digging into the history later. So I'm going to refer to the North as Yankees because it's easier and faster to say than the Union troops. So the Yankee troops were holding the train depot down. They had the railway or whatever. And it was during Jackson's Valley campaign. I'm sure a historian would have a better working knowledge of the exact facts and dates and who was involved and all that. Long story long, there was a battle there. And, there were 8 Northern sharpshooters and 1 Southern soldier killed in the house. The house during the encounter was burned to the ground, so we're presuming that the remains of the people would still be in the basement. So I didn't learn that until later. So I would see, I'd be laying in the bed watching TV. I'd see people walk past the door, just see something go across out of it. Lots of stuff out of the corner of your eye. Occasionally you'd hear a loud bump, loud noise or something. You'd hear people coming up the stairs. And I'm only taking into account the times when there was nobody else there. Nobody else in the other apartment, nobody downstairs. And I know for a fact that I'm the only one there. Little things like that. I never had Casper jump out and talk to me or nothing, but it had one of those big clawfoot bathtubs in it. It was actually a really nice little place. But yeah, she was taking a bath and somebody was banging on the door and she heard something crashing outside. It was storming real bad that day. And she texted me and just said, I'm coming. And so I had to call her like, wait, what are you talking about?
Coming where?
Yeah. And I was in Manassas. I was nowhere near home. So I don't know what was going on there, but she went out and checked. She said there was nobody there. So
I don't feel like I'd ever have a sense of peace living in a place like that.
I didn't like stay. I got to where I didn't like staying there by myself. Like, I'm a grown man. I just got tired of hearing random weird noises that can't be explained and it got to the point where I didn't even go check it out.
Like, did you ever feel like you're always being watched? Like,
yeah,
maybe
you
with
could just
like
sense there was like, there's like a frequency. You can sense when somebody walks into the room. If you have your eyes shut and you're not really paying any attention and somebody walks into the room and doesn't make a sound, but they walk in, you'll know.
You can feel it.
You can feel it, and you'll open your eyes and look for them, right? So just a lot of that, shadow figures, and weird fucking dreams. Really weird fucking dreams. I've always had weird dreams, but especially there, it was like at a high, like I'd wake up and never being so happy to go to fucking work. Like, I'm ready to get out of here.
Yeah.
I had one dream where I could see that the house, like I was dreaming about the house.
Yeah.
And that it was, they had bodies in there. Like it was a morgue or something, but it was a long time ago. So they were just in the basement.
Like there might have been a basement where there wasn't one in real life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was. I haven't researched that, but I know it's been many things over the years. I know it went from being the train depot to being, I know it was a post office right before it became apartments.
It comes on your mind, but you have to live a day to day. You know, you got to go to the bathroom and make a sandwich.
That's the thing about being poor and your house is haunted. Like, what are you going to do? It's not like I can just sell this mansion for another one. This is what I got. You're just going to have to deal with it. So wake up, there's blood on the mirror. It says, get out. You're just like, look, motherfucker, I pay to be here. If you didn't hurt me when you were living, you ain't going to do it now.
It doesn't sound like anything sinister was there, though.
I don't think it was, I don't know if it was anything sinister. I was never worried about the Civil War element to that house. You know, it's just weird shit happens all the time around here. It's not really tied to a specific place or specific house. That house in particular was haunted. Some people go their whole lives and never witness anything fucking weird or out of the ordinary, or they can dismiss everything.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good to have background noise in the house. It's good to have pets and people around. But when you're all alone, when you're completely by yourself and you still hear noises like there's people around, that's when it's freaky.
And that's like a trope in movies, too, is like the more attention you give that kind of stuff, kind of the more concentrated it'll become.
Yeah, you don't want to pay attention to it. Yeah. I don't just want to pretend like, yep, nope, nothing to see here.
That would get to me at a certain fucking point.
Well, I didn't know that majority of the time I was there. I didn't know that the whole time. I learned that right before we left. And I technically wasn't really supposed to go down there, but curiosity. And it wasn't locked or anything. So I was just like, I'm going to take a look. You walk in and there's like a little room there, but there's a hole in the wall. And you look through the hole in the wall and there's these piles of ashes. And I guess they're mounded up because I'm assuming just people have to get in there and work and fix stuff when it breaks.
That's the weirdest part, that they just sweep it in there and they don't port them out at all.
You know, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's ash. I guess I can't say for certain that it's the ash from them, but history would suggest they just kind of built on top of the
you hear a story about a house burned into the ground and then it's rebuilt. Like, what other ash is it going to be?
Yeah. I thought it was strange, man. It had a big chimney. The chimney was original, I think. That side was all original.
Was it still in use?
No.
Okay.
No, the chimney's not still in use.
The fucked up thing is like all the plumbers that were just down there.
Yeah, like, well, people's they got to get, shit plumbed. They got to get electricity and somebody's going to have to access
some
that
guy
at some
like
point.
A spirit home with him, has no idea.
Well, I mean, he's out down there rolling around in Civil War medals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't worry about that stuff too much.
I don't think you can.
It all came to an end when we got a cat. What I recommend, if you have a very haunted house, go get you a cat, because it's still going to be haunted, but at least you can blame it on the cat.
Oh,
that's the fucking cat.
Probably just the cat.
Probably just the fucking cat, man. Then I've also got ghost stories from other places too. The first paranormal thing I ever saw that got me interested in it was I was hanging out with a buddy. We were hanging out in the yard, and yes, we were drinking beer, but we were not drunk. There was something there.
Yeah.
We know there was something there. I've never been drunk enough to see things that aren't actually there. Somebody maybe has. I have not. But we were maybe 2 beers in, not real heavy drinking or anything, and we both saw this thing. It looked like a dog going up the road, so I yelled at it, and then it stood up.
Holy shit.
And continued walking, and I thought, well, fuck, that's a bear. So I got away, and then we looked down the street, and we saw it standing in the streetlight, like looking back at us, and it looked like a hooded figure.
That's fucking chilling, dude.
Yeah. I couldn't make it. Wasn't a clear visual. It was just a dark mass, and it was walking like an animal, and then it shifted. And then we were like, you know what? Maybe let's move a little further away from the road.
Get the fuck away from
Oh, no, we stayed outside. I think we sat in the car because I was still convinced that, well, that could be a bear. Well, no, after we saw it standing in the light, it was not a bear. We don't know what it was to this day. We still talk about it all the time.
Where was that? Like what county?
Rappahannock County.
Rappahannock?
Yeah.
Pretty close to where we are now.
Yeah, not too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was there.
Because like let's say it's like a skinwalker, something that's transforming. One of the things about skinwalker like mythology is like if you know about one specifically, it has to kill you.
I don't think that's what that was. I just saw a thing.
Yeah.
Let's figure it's a bear. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bear.
It was a bear. Just like everything that happened in that haunted house was the cat.
It was exactly the cat.
It's the cat.
Do you still have that cat?
I do not. My parents have that cat. It's a good cat.
Their house must be haunted as shit then.
No, not anymore, because there's a cat now.
Hello, everybody. I'm back with the first shout out of 2023. Did you miss me? I feel like you missed me. And the honor, this time, goes out to your local SPCA. That's right. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is getting free real estate on the HHP because some of my all-time favorite four-legged friends were in fact rescues. Scooby, Riley, Bailey, Smoke, Mooncake. These names may mean nothing to you, dear listener, but rest assured those animals mean the world to their owners and they each have a spot in my personal Hall of Fame. So if life's got you down, maybe you can't afford to have a kid, maybe you want something warm to cuddle up to at night, or maybe you just need something to blame for the weird noises in your house. Well, dog or cat, clear that right up. So boogie on down to your local SPCA. You might just meet your new bestie. Anywho, take her away, Dusty.
Why has nobody ghost hunted Williamsburg? You could do like a whole season of that shit. That place is legit. I've captured evidence there, and I'm just working with a phone. Like, I've got pictures of stuff happening there. Peyton Randolph House is off the freaking charts. You're going to get an episode if you go film there. Well, actually, what I really want to do, I want to ghost hunt at Jamestown. The state will never in a billion, bajillion, fulfillion freaking years ever let me do that, I'm sure. I would just like to go there, like when it's closed, park rangers present, and walk around with my little spirit box and see what I pick up. I just want to know. How cool would that be to get to talk to some of the first settlers, or at least hear from them? You know?
Have you ever heard of a sandwich?
Hey, much better than your wife's skull. Yeah. I assure you of that. No, that was some dark times. That's what people don't understand. There's so much history here that goes back way before any of us, any of our written record was here. Everywhere you go in this state is a cemetery.
You know, it's funny. In almost every single episode, we say that. Yeah. It's unintentional, too. It just comes up organically.
It's just the truth. Everywhere you go, like literally, I was in Alexandria working up there on a job, and this foundation was built on a cemetery. Like, they had to cut a headstone in half to put the foundation of a big like apartment complex on it.
And do you think in every single situation they get the bodies out?
No, I don't think so. I think they just build. Sometimes they do it the right way, and sometimes, depending on when things were built, there's just reckless disregard. The further you go back, the older the construction that's there, probably the more reckless disregard there was. I think they have a little more respect for that stuff now. But the whole state, there's so much history here that we have no idea about. And I don't get that feeling in any other place. Other people, like from other places, when they come out here, they're like freaked out about it. Like there's a different feel here. And there is Native American legends, you know, about stuff in the woods, and like you were just talking about with skinwalkers and whatnot. Yeah, and that house was weird, man. But I want somebody to, I still am throwing this out there, I want somebody to ghost hunt in Williamsburg, Colonial Williamsburg, and Jamestown, because the history goes back further than Colonial Williamsburg. Fun fact, when they were rebuilding all those historical buildings around there, they realized there was more ancient history underneath the foundations of those old buildings. There's Indian burials and everything else. That's interesting. And that place was haunted, like the Peyton Randolph house down there was haunted during the Revolution. Like, it was haunted when it was new. Like,
so it just makes you wonder, it's like this rubber band ball of different phenomena stacked.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. In this state, you see all these housing developments. Like, every time a farmer dies, a new neighborhood is born. That's not new land. There's stuff there. Yeah. Like we were just saying, the whole state, everywhere you go. So
even just the drive down here, things that I remember were fields are now
built up. And like the burial ground, there's a neighborhood that's built in Orange County, there's a neighborhood that's built on a Civil War battlefield.
Well, you can dig up an arrowhead in almost any grassy patch in the state.
And that's more interesting to me because I know where I used to live, like there were Indian stone cairns in the woods, just rock piles that were used, I guess, for navigation. They say, I don't know what they were used for. I don't think anybody really does. You go back to like ancient enough history.
They might have been grave markers.
And some of that, I think, is just a scientist pulling something out of his ass.
Yeah.
If you look at in 1,000 years, you're going to find the foundations of a Walmart supercenter and think, oh, this must have been a great king. This was the religious center of the town. No, motherfucker, it's a Kmart.
And the thing is, when I hear things like rock pile, I think stupid shit like Blair Witch. Like, it must be a cult in nature.
The interesting things was if there were more than one, you could walk between them. Do you know how to use divining rods?
No.
Like to find water? It's got to be made of metal. Well, at least the way I do it. But if you walk between those stone cairns, it makes the divining rods go stupid. Like they point towards each stone, like they separate where they shouldn't. Maybe it's a water marker saying there's a spring here or a spring nearby. But I know there's some sort of electromagnetic phenomena going on with that. And they're all over the woods. You go into the national parks or whatever, and you go deep enough, you're going to find them. So a lot of people don't know what they are. That's the thing. If you know how to look for the stuff and you study the history, you're going to find that it's everywhere. You know, you look out in a field and you see there's a mound in the middle of that field and it's got cows in it and it looks like it's just nothing. That's a burial mound, most likely, especially in the Piedmont region. Somewhere where it's fairly flat, or in the Tidewater region, somewhere where it's fairly flat and you see a random hill, random little mound, that's a burial. And most people, like I know there's farms that have them on them and they've just untouched because it's private land and they don't disturb it.
I mean, would you?
No, that's the thing. I'm all about respecting the history, respecting what's happened and what's true, and trying to learn as much as we can. Like, the more ancient it gets, the harder it is to put records together of stuff.
I got to tell you, though, like, looking at it like that, it's like even just passing, like, a regular field, there could be something spooky there that it's like a filter on top of your perception.
Yeah. One of the scariest things I ever did was ride a motorcycle at night around here. Like, you can't help but have the feeling like there's something chasing you. It's a weird feeling, man. You're surrounded by woods. Something could jump out in front of you. Something could be behind you. I just never had a more spooky feeling like there was something right behind me. Or like they say, if you're in the woods at night and somebody calls your name, which I've had stuff like that happen. I've been out in the woods.
Fuck, dude, that's skinwalker territory.
Not having people calling your name, but like people, like you'll just hear like a kid talking somewhere. And you're like, well, I'm going to ignore the shit out of that. I'm not saying there's not a person over there. I'm just saying unattended children at 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere. I could take you up to the Appalachian Trail and we could do this.
Yeah.
And you'd hear like weird noises and shit.
Beast of nature.
Yep.
Dude, foxes sound scary as shit.
They do. They sound like
Like Wendigo type.
Yeah. Yeah, man. At night, you're not supposed to whistle.
What's the thought process behind that?
Well, you want to know the real danger in it would be there's predators in the woods. Like, you can go off looking for
And they think you're prey.
chupacabras
Yeah.
and find a bear. Oh, I'm just going to go explore the great outdoors and I'm not going to bring a weapon and whistle in the dark and let everything know where I'm at.
Yeah.
What could possibly go wrong?
It's an ecosystem out there.
Yeah. There's animals, cats.
You're only at the top of it when you're in a house.
Yes. Have you ever walked on a country road at night? It's fucking scary, dude.
You got to get somewhere before
It's
those bastards go the
scary.
fuck out. Yeah.
You hear shit, you don't know what it is. You hear stuff in the wood, it could be a deer. Like,
For
anything
real, in
is
those
scary.
situations, you're not thinking monster or ghost. You're thinking, fuck,
You're
a
thinking,
jaguar.
fuck, there's a bear. I know it's a
Jaguars.
bear, and I look delicious.
Yeah.
Fuck. No, but occasionally you'll go thinking it's an animal, and then it'll be something you can't explain.
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Ghost Tour in Williamsburg for anybody that might be listening, because it is awesome, and there's a good chance you could catch a glimpse of something, because I did. And I even went, I'm not going to advocate anybody else do this, but I went out after everything was shut down. There's nobody on the street. And I went to some of those places. I didn't do anything destructive. I just went to take some pictures and look. And when there was nobody around and it's, pitch dark and you're just walking around, you could take pictures. And we caught some stuff on pictures, man. History goes back further than we realize. And people were way smarter than we give them credit for, our ancestors.
Yeah, because you have to figure, like, the level of intelligence our geniuses have now was probably present back then, even if they didn't have modern technology or means.
I tend to lean that way. I don't have any proof. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but I think the way to move forward and come up with new things may be to look back to the past, what we were doing then. There's like hieroglyphs that show light bulbs and shit. I've never heard the counter argument to that one. I've just seen the hieroglyphs that show a light bulb. It looks pretty clearly like a light bulb to me.
You got to wonder, like, let's say theoretically, what would that be? Would that be that, like, maybe human history at some point in the future we achieved time travel? Some people go back, and maybe those might have.
Don't get me started on that. I have a theory about time travel now.
Ooh,
yeah,
this will be new territory for the pod. But let me finish what I'm saying. Light bulbs. They probably didn't have them back in ancient Egypt. So that means either it's something from the past that they remember, like we might have been extremely technologically advanced and then been reduced to a much simpler technological point.
And how many people know how to build a cell phone? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't, for fucking
exactly.
sure.
So if production got shut down, a cataclysm happened, something happened, and a large percentage of the population is wiped out, you're not going to have F-16 fighter jets, because how many people
when
know
we
how
had that fucking indoor lighting? That was sweet, right?
Yeah.
Those fucking glowy bulb shits. I don't know how to make one of those.
That was fucking cool, man. I'd figure it out. Get me a 9-volt battery and some wire.
I have the laptop. I just can't charge it.
Yeah. Fuck. I can't build a fire with this. This doesn't fucking help. You're out there trying to cut wood with it.
Can't eat USBs, no.
Here, I'll use this $10,000 computer to hold these papers down.
Get the light to reflect off the screen and start this fire.
But no, I mean, you look at anything, the parts come from everywhere. It's a group effort, worldwide group effort, all the technology and the things that we use on a day-to-day basis and take for granted. So if enough links in that chain are gone, then we're not going to have all that for long.
Yeah.
So the same thing could have happened before. It could be cyclical. Because you think about it, I think every day when you make a decision, you believe in parallel universes?
Sure.
Okay, well.
You mean like for every option, like let's say.
Like you make decisions every day. You come to crossroads every day, several times.
If I throw this can in the fire, that's a decision. There'll be a universe where I don't throw that can in the fire.
Well, kind of.
And that could potentially be
every decision you make, whether it's a good one or a bad one, your universe is now changed. Your reality is now different than it was before you did
things making choices in every single little moment.
You can look back on your life at a later time and think, well, if I didn't do that or if I did do that, then this could happen. Maybe,
exactly.
They're all choices and you control where you end up.
Yeah.
So you try to do the best you can. You try to make the best choices because it alters. You're creating something new every time you do something. You live in the present, right? So.
But you know what would be fucking crazy? If everyone in the world was making good decisions, there would be infinite ultimate universes where shit was terrible.
Well, no. I don't think so.
Because do you think that there's like a track
idea is you
for the
want to make
in the universe?
Well, everybody makes mistakes, but you're going to want to make good decisions.
Yeah, but
and then you can look back on it and say, you know what, I'm in a really good place. I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad I did that.
But that's just for you. If you're creating alternate timelines every time that you make a decision,
we could get in the weeds on that, man. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it does seem like maybe if somebody went back in time, they would still exist in the future. And would therefore be there, and you couldn't really do anything to them.
I'm not exactly sure. Like,
I don't know. I think maybe we're creating.
Is the past set in stone, but you create an alternate timeline when you go back? You wouldn't be going back to your timeline.
Cold Case Western Australia is a new true crime podcast series produced on behalf of the WA Police Force Special Crime Squad. The series examines unsolved homicide cases, some dating back several decades, in the world's largest policing jurisdiction. You'll hear new case details and insights from the investigating detectives and forensic experts. There are now $1 million rewards attached to each unsolved homicide in Western Australia. You can listen to Cold Case Western Australia wherever you get your podcasts or by visiting the WA Police Force website.
You could, I guess. I don't know. I just make good decisions, folks. Just make good decisions.
Don't fuck with the timeline.
Don't fuck with the timeline. Don't lead us straight to hell. Let's do some good shit. We just need everybody in the world to make like 3 good decisions, and then we can all have, we can all go party again.
Yeah.
At the same time.
It'll be great, folks.
Like help an old lady across the street and do some nice shit. I think
3 good deeds for 2023.
3 good deeds like every day. But see, you make those 3 good decisions because you were thinking about it, and then you make like 30 shitty ones.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Or maybe just actively don't make bad decisions.
Just try to avoid creating problems. We're out there now. Holy shit.
Getting into the weeds.
So
you said you had a time travel theory.
I'm not getting into that.
Why not?
Because I'd be talking out of my ass.
But that's fun.
Let's do what the fuck I'm talking about.
Let's babble about some crazy shit. My parents' house is a 30-year-old home, and they were the first people to own it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's really anything supernatural about it. But my dad's the kind of person who he's usually always got a TV running, and he's usually watching it until like 1 or 2 a.m. So I'm used to going to bed with the sound of like a TV playing in the house. You know, the conversation, there might be music, laugh track. And the weird thing is there'll be times when neither of them are home and I'm getting out of like a shower and I hear the vent in the hall and, just like the low rumble, and I'll stop because I can swear to God, I can hear conversation coming through it. Like there's a TV in the house playing. Mm-hmm. And it's just me fighting my mind.
I've found the more I watch like of scary movies and stuff like that, the more I get into the headspace. I try to avoid that kind of stuff now. I don't really watch it. I just try to keep it lighthearted and goofy, and everything seems to be fine. When you hear a bump in the night, the first thing you want to go to is not chupacabra
Yeah.
or aliens. You need to go investigate. So you can't keep it in your mind, oh, it's a ghost. Not everything is a ghost. Occasionally, you'll find something that doesn't add up and doesn't make sense, and you'll ponder it later and talk about it on a podcast.
There might just be something to those Williamsburg ghost tours. Spoiler alert, the 2-part finale to this season gets into some real nitty-gritty with some real bona fide paranormal investigators, and you'd be surprised to learn that it does actually cost a pretty penny to survey the site of a haunting. And the thing you're likely not taking into account is what part of that experience may end up following you home. Play it safe, folks. If you're in the DMV and you're in the mood for something spooky, there are a number of themed ghost tours in Williamsburg alone. You've got secrets of colonial history, a spooky bar crawl with booze, and some good old-fashioned nighttime ghost hunting. It looks to range from maybe $9 for children to around $30 for adults, and most folks experience some kind of activity. So take it from me, if you want to get comfortably close to the supernatural, maybe come home with a spooky photo or a story of someone putting their hand on your shoulder, that's about the safe area to have a paranormal experience. But if you want to listen to some stories where things don't really go so well, stay tuned for episode 9 and 10.
This is a funny story about my dad. I was talking to you earlier about the dreams, like weird dreams and stuff. They're just dreams,
Yeah, they're pictures in your head,
like
and they come from you, but...
Yeah. I was probably watching War of the Worlds or something the night before, and it planted the seed in my head for a weird fucking dream. And there was like some craft in the sky, like an alien invasion kind of a dream. And I woke up, and now picture being my dad, and your kid just wakes straight up and sits straight up out of the bed, and he's like, the day of reckoning is coming, 2008. Probably be freaked out, right?
Yeah, dude, that's terrifying.
Not my dad. He didn't miss a beat, dude. He was like, that could be, but you got to catch the bus today. Let's go.
Come on, Scooter.
Fuck,
you ain't getting out of this one.
Yeah. No, I just thought that one was funny, man. The world didn't end in 2008, so.
Figures.
Let's see. Well, a long time ago, I was at my house back when I lived at home, and my parents were gone for whatever reason, and we had this super bad storm. Like, a lot of the shit seems to happen when it's storming, and the weather's, like, supercharged, I was at home alone, they were in town, and all of a sudden, this weird static came through the TV, like, the power went out, and it came back on.
Yeah.
Right? So the TV goes straight to static, and when it did, it was just, like, this, like, demonic fucking noise coming through the TV. Like some weird scream. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing that today. So I turned that shit off. Could it be radio traffic? Maybe it was a weird part in Buffy the Vampire Slayer that was coming through. But I thought it was weird, and I could either stay there and just let's go in here and read a book or chill out. Or I could go out in the storm and get like hit by a tree or struck by lightning or something. So
there's something to really complain about.
Yeah, so I'm just going to stay here. We're just going to turn the TV off a while.
Probably just the cat.
It was probably just the cat, The cat probably got into the wiring and caused some,
They're fucking around behind the TV.
Cat, man. They're a handful.
They're precarious creatures, aren't they?
But yeah, man, everywhere you go, there's stuff like that. There's a history everywhere. Some of it's good. Some of it's not. Like there's a plaque in Alexandria. I saw a plaque on a house in Alexandria a long time ago. And I thought it made me laugh so fucking hard, man. It said, at this site in 1812, absolutely fucking nothing happened.
Imagine that. And you know what? It's probably fucking wrong.
I thought that
crazy shit probably happened.
Crazy shit probably happened that day. Who knows? Anywhere you go, I know there's a neighborhood built on a Civil War battlefield in, I guess it'd be Spotsylvania County. They're brand new houses. So you go buy a house that's built in 2003 and you think, oh, it's a brand new house. Everything's cool. You're on a battlefield.
Yeah.
Like shit has happened.
I'd love to hear
that we know about. And there's other shit that's happened that we don't.
I'd love to hear some stories in like modern homes just because they're built on top of a battlefield. It might just be the house.
They had to move graves to build the Walmart in Culpeper.
No, I believe that.
They did. There was burials there. They had to move them to build it. So that Walmart in Culpeper is built on a burial ground.
That would explain why Culpeper has such a weird vibe.
Like, you wouldn't think that, but, well, that was actually a cemetery. They had to move people so they could build it. It was a racetrack at one point, like a horse racetrack. It was a cemetery. It's been all kinds of things. It's thing, history, everything changes, man. It's weird. You don't always know. Like, so you see weird shit in random places. You really got to dig to figure out why that might be.
And the thing I always hear about ghosts is, like, if you see one, it's not going to be, like, translucent or weird. It's going to look like a real person.
Usually it's like you catch something out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, that's the most common thing, like a shadow.
Like, I can't say that I've ever seen anything like directly, like there's a thing there and I can very clearly see it and shake its hand. It's never like that.
Yeah.
It's like you just catch a glimpse of something, or you thought you saw something move.
Yeah, and I have that all the time, too. I've had some of that shit while we were here.
Yeah. Well, the stuff happens everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Usually when stuff like that happens, it's best just not to pay attention to it. Just let it be, go on about your day.
Probably just the cat.
Probably just the cat.
Wow, what was that? It's just the cat. Oh. I'm going back to bed.
Now those were some frightfully fun stories. Howdy everybody, it's me, your host Danny, and I wanted to let you in on something special. You might have noticed that when I introduce the show, I say we are the Hometown Horrors Podcast. That's because there will always be at least 3 people in each episode. Me, the person who wants to hear a good story, the guest, the teller of a good story, and you, the listener, that takes that story and carries it with you out into the world. And we make up a special kind of trinity. We are the Hometown Horrors Podcast. And if you ever want to graduate from listener to guest, reach out to us via our handle on Instagram, hometown_horrors_podcast. Our email is thehometownhorrorspodcast, no spaces, @gmail.com, or via text or phone call at 571-358-8880, which FYI is not my personal number, but give it a ring. I'll get back to you, because if there's anything I've learned from doing the podcast is that everybody has a story, and that story deserves to be heard. On your #1 source for the most spine-tingling, gut-wrenching, insomnia-inducing stories around, the Hometown Horrors Podcast.